Meta Quest 3.
Meta is getting hit with a record-breaking $1.3 billion fine.
Meta has been a massive driving force in the VR industry. Consumer VR started out pretty rough. In 1993, Sega announced and quickly canceled their own headset. I've only included it because it looks really cool. Our old friend Nintendo then released the Virtual Boy a few years later and discontinued it almost immediately, making VR look pretty bad in the process. It wasn't until Oculus showed up and their Rift and Rift S sold decently that VR even found a footing. You can't forget about the original Vive either. Then, an anomaly. The Quest 2 currently accounts for about 40% of Steam VR usage alone, while the Quest 3 is on par with the index's count with plenty of room left to grow. Meaning with 2 headsets alone, Meta is responsible for around half of all PC VR use. From an outsider's perspective, it's a great thing that they're selling this many headsets, but are these the good guys or the bad guys? How about we start with someone that pretty much everybody agrees is a good guy? Valve has done a lot of heavy lifting for the industry, revolutionizing PC gaming with Steam, developing VR hardware with HTC like the Vive, and are responsible for base station tracking. And of course, giving us Steam VR, the thing that makes all of this even possible. Valve is obviously loved by a lot of people, and everyone is on the edge of their seats waiting for what they do next. So what did Valve do right, and what did Meta do wrong? Get ready for a hot take, not much. When the Index came out, it was the flagship PC VR headset. To this day, it still has the best audio we've ever heard natively in a VR headset, with some of the nicest controllers out there. But let's be honest here, and please don't get butthurt. The Index is objectively not that great anymore. Head straps are getting brittle and just kind of exploding for some reason. Link cables are incredibly fragile, and those great controllers, while comfortable, have a pretty impressive list of issues. And now we get to talk about Steam VR itself and the countless issues that it has. Random frame drops when opening up menus, failing to recognize headsets and only giving you generic fault codes to diagnose with, controllers and trackers trying to bind to the same Watchman dongle resulting in broken tracking. Oh yeah, and they let Steam VR sit and rot for years, basically becoming unusable for Linux users. They only fixed it because they had to for their upcoming headset that relies on Linux. And that's not even bringing up the fact that Steam is also full of shovelware porn games that include some less than admirable historical figures. If we're being honest here, Valve kinda sucks. Despite all of this, people still love Valve a lot more than Meta, and to be honest, it's kind of our fault. Meta's public image is just really bad. The most that people have ever seen of Mark is testifying in front of official judiciary committees for some pretty morbid allegations, and that's not a good look. Then there's the fact that this dude also looks like an actual alien, but a pretty ripped alien at that. And they've been sued a lot. Like a lot. Not only is their reputation for privacy an actual dumpster fire, but they also have a really bad habit of buying up promising VR studios and swallowing them whole into their corporate structure. Step into my shoes for a second though. I'm gonna lay out a scenario for you. I get the same question basically every day. Hey Bunless, what VR headset should I buy? And I really don't play favorites. If a headset has a flaw, I will let you know. HTC, Pimax, Big Screen, Vario, Valve, and Meta headsets all have major flaws. Let's make this quick. HTC software sucks, and from my personal experience, their team could get lost in a paper bag. Pimax's software sucks even harder somehow, and they have the single most socially inept marketing team imaginable. Big Screen wanted to make a headset as comfortable as possible and ended up making your head feel like a watermelon in one of those shitty TikTok videos. Vario is entirely full of themselves, and they couldn't make a comfortable headset to save their life. Valve can't seem to make something that doesn't literally explode without warning, except the Steam Deck. I love mine. And time for Meta.
Mark, give me the Zuck.
Let's see here. They buy and kill studios constantly, their controllers suffer from stick drift, the Quest Pro controllers gaslight themselves to death, just ask Thrill.
And then my left controller was overheating? Like, what the hell?
It took them nearly 2 years to even include the Meta logo on their desktop software because they've been ignoring it so hard, and they collect a lot of data. Whoops. But that all sounds kind of familiar, right? Valve collects your data. Valve controllers suffer from stick drift and connectivity issues. Valve ignored Steam VR for way too long and only fixed it when it would benefit them. Every single headset has really big flaws. It just so happens that Meta's headsets have the least awful flaws. They are incredibly affordable, priced so low that Meta loses money hand over fist, all while offering specs that beat the competition, while the aftermarket provides tons of accessories to fix any downsides like comfort and audio. So when I have someone come into my Discord and ask me for advice on buying a headset, I have a really hard time recommending anything other than a Meta headset, only to get some weird reactions. The Quest 3 is simply the best bang for your buck right now, and the Quest Pro is amazing for PC VR, specifically in VR chat, where features like face tracking really matter. But Meta bad, Valve good. I have a Vario Aero. It was supposed to be the flagship PC VR headset, and that thing is an actual headache. I had a Vive Pro 2, and I don't even want to talk about that anymore. I have watched countless Index owners in my own community struggle with technical and hardware issues. I recently replaced my Vario Aero with a Quest Pro, and that deserves its own video entirely, but I will just say I will not be looking back. But I get the privacy concerns. I've literally lost friends over this opinion, but here we fucking go, baby. Spotify, Google, Discord, Meta, and Valve. Statistically, you use services from at least 2 of these companies, and they all share something in common: collecting your data and selling it. Valve may not explicitly say that they sell your data, but they certainly use it to market to you in their store and definitely reap more profits because of it. You've seen it with your own eyes countless times. Many people only care about the illusion of privacy while their data gets collected and sold to the highest bidder by every single company that they use. And here's the real irony. People will tell me that my opinion sucks over Discord. You know, the company that was sued by the European Union under the exact same consumer protection law that Meta was sued for. Never mind, it's a community heavily based in VR chat. The company that literally gives themselves the right to invade your private rooms and record whatever they want to. You can at least see the double standard, right? So are Meta the good guys or bad guys? They make the best VR headsets right now. They are cheap, powerful, and easy to use. But more importantly, corporations are not your friend. You shouldn't be defending them online when they all do the same shady bullshit. Let's do us all a favor and cut the VR elitism. We owe these corporations nothing. A huge thank you to Mahatama, Roku Sanda, Death by Water, Likes Trash, Sake, and Mion Zed for joining the Patreon, as well as all of my Patreon supporters for helping to keep the ship afloat. I haven't been posting as actively thanks to being just a little bit burned out, but I hope this video was worth the wait. Expect more cool stuff in the future. Enjoy your day, homies.